Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Welcome to the Mostly Elite Wrestling Show. I will not be alone here today. In my right, in the Hawaiian pattern, we got...
I'm JJ.
And then across, wearing the wonderful Mexcellence t-shirt.
Hey, I'm Juan Solo. I'm DLC character number 3.
And Juan is not alone on that side. In the quote-unquote goth side, we also have, for a first-time appearance on the Mexcellence... Well, I guess both of y'all are, but... Kelly.
I'm like, I don't know where I'm looking at. It's like the Truman Show.
None of us are real.
We're all DLC with beeps and boops.
Yeah.
But Juan, just because you've never been on here before, I thought I would start off by asking, why should we care about your wrestling opinion? What are your credentials?
My credentials are that I am the one sitting in this chair and not typing comments on the internet.
That's a very good promo. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't beat that.
That might have been one of the smartest things we've ever said. And then Kelly, same question.
Oh man, that was what I wrote down, but he stole it from me. When I wrote it in the comments earlier. In the last one. I was told this was the whiskey one, so where's?
Well, it's
I don't know anything about it. It's like, oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
Dusty is a famous whiskey drinker.
Yes, yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Dusty promos at this point, just for shits and lulz.
Yeah, I don't know what recently happened, but I've been seeing a lot more content about him recently, and I'm just like, yep, still sucks.
Not a Dusty fan?
No, I love Dusty. I love all the old guys.
I just thought it was hilarious.
Just a bigger terrifying. Oh, yeah, see, there you go. You just got to harass people enough and you get your way.
No, Dusty cutting content, hitting people in the boot with Everybody Somebody in Lukenbach shirt, like just a whole bunch of content has randomly hit my, I guess, Instagram.
Because he's from Austin.
Yeah, he's from Texas, yeah.
Well, there was actually like a promo that we ran last time. It was just a random TikTok, but it was like when you're trying to hit on the fat girl at the bar, it's like, listen, honey, if you're looking for someone that's 305 pounds and won't quit, and it was Dusty Rhodes. But we don't have a lot of time here, and I suspect this might go a little long. So let's go ahead and jump into.
No, it's not.
Let's go ahead and jump into.
It's not going long. It's going.
I said it's not going long.
Okay. I heard. It's going long, so let's get started. He has selective hearing.
He only hears the negative things.
Yeah.
I mean, when he sent me the PDF file, it was like 7 pages. So
this is what not to say. Be on your best behavior. You already broke the rule by wearing a sucks eggs shirt. Now I'm playing.
Marcos can read.
But JJ, we'll go ahead and start with you. What is the worst storyline in wrestling right now? If somebody else wants to take it while he thinks about it.
Yeah, someone else take it because I'm not.
Well, I mean,
super caught up.
I mean, I don't know going on right now, but I know my worst one, like just from a recent memory, was with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt when they were doing the whole like
the
House of
Pitch Black
Horror
Mountain
stuff.
Dew?
Yeah, it's like it's a.
Well,
it's
Bray
a-
Wyatt's not around right now, so that's why I guess there's no bad storyline.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay, wow.
I'm trying to bring it back, but like I said, it's top of my head. But with that one, it's more like conceptually, I was okay with it. I can vibe with it, but again, it's probably just because I like Bray Wyatt's, whole
Right, yeah.
creepy gimmick and whatnot.
It's always in the execution where it lets me down. I'm like, oh, Pitch Black Mountain Dew match. I like Mountain Dew and I like wrestling. Like, this is going to be great. And then it was, you got black lights and you're not even hitting each other with them?
I saw that match live in person and I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that went to that show too, and they were saying that like in person it was impossible to look at. So.
Yeah.
By the way, that whole pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble this year in San Antonio, kind of not fun to actually be in the audience. That was one of them that I was like, I've always wanted to go because it's fun to watch on TV. We're going to have a Royal Rumble later on our video game era type thing, but not fun to watch because I didn't even know what was going on half the time.
Yeah, especially where I was sitting. I was in like the nosebleeds because, I'm not rich. And it to me up there, it sounded like the crowd was just like dead, and I was like, dang, like are really people not vibing with this match? But then when I watched it later on the WWE Network, you could hear crowds chanting, and I'm like, that has to be fake. I was sitting there, and I did not hear a single person cheer.
You can't cheer as people are coming out because you have to be in the select seats to hear them and see them. So I didn't know who it was until I heard the theme song most of the time.
Yep, I was the same way. I'm like, well, who's coming? I don't know that guy.
Yeah, those shows you have to be like right next to the ramp in order to get excited about the Royal Rumble. Otherwise, you're like, I don't know who's coming out. Sometimes you're like, I don't even recognize this person's music, and I get like all the women's division is from Craigslist for those things. So, like, I remember when I went
Didn't
right before
someone from the
COVID,
audience
Kelly
jump
Kelly
in?
came out, and my friend was losing her mind, and I was like, Kelly Kelly? Really? All right.
That was the audience one.
Oh, that was actually my favorite part. Was it was Michelle McCool, and she's like
I
wearing
get them
Uggs in the
confused.
audience. She's like, they called her name. She's like,
Well, I guess.
she like literally got out of her seat and got in the ring and started wrestling, and it was actually really funny. So, the only funny thing she's ever done.
I guess I'll answer real quick. It's the TNT title in the AEW. I don't even remember who the champion is right now without looking it up. Somehow, well, I know how, Orange Cassidy's charisma. The international title has had a great run.
Right.
And people...
I think he's probably the most dominant champion right now.
He has more title defenses than anyone else in all the brands. But it just comes down to this weird thing where because he pushed the international title so hard and they don't know what the fuck to do with Wardlow, it just keeps falling and stalling. And every time they put the belt on someone, I'm like, I think that's actually a detriment to have the belt, the TNT title at least.
You don't get screen time even though you're a current champion.
Yeah, EJ Movement being like, the TNT champ is Christian. He's only on Saturdays. Luchasaurus.
We're like, I don't know.
There you go. That's genius. He's only on Saturdays. That means you can't lose the belt. That's a great strategy.
Yeah. JJ, did you come up with a worst storyline?
Not really, no. I haven't been keeping up with wrestling like.
Why are you on this podcast? It's
the rare JJ
it's
burn.
wrestling.
People wanted it.
People want it.
Well, Kelly, what is your worst storyline going on right now?
Well, I'm glad I came with like a list because I was like, it's funny that you mentioned Bray Wyatt because I'm actually like a huge Bray Wyatt apologist. I don't know if you can tell how goth I am, but
off on the wrong foot today.
I'm like, yeah, I love The Fiend. I love Firefly Funhouse. I thought it was all silly, stupid fun. That being said, everything with the LA Knight, not LA Knight specifically, that match actually looked really cool on television for whatever loosely like concept they gave them. But anything with the Uncle Howdy storyline, it had a lot of cool stuff behind it when they were like trying to like get people's engagement up for like Raw and having like the secret messages that were coming out during segments and stuff like that. But then everything that happened after that match ended at Royal Rumble was just like, what am I looking at here, man? Like, what is this? What's going on? It was just 6 more minutes of like, what? Like, what? This is still going on. So that was a terrible one. And then they're like, okay, and now it's just gone. Bray's gone. So I heard he's got a new writer, so we might see him probably around Survivor Series, maybe.
I know
they're
that
not on strike.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're independent contractors. They're not part of the SAG.
Yeah, that was the thing. That was what Seth Rollins recently said, that he was like, it's really great that we're not unionized because then people can have more time for wrestling now that movies aren't a thing.
Can we jump to the net positive topic right now? Or net negative?
They're like, where's Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins' opinion has gone down drastically.
Yeah.
He's coming out in a movie too, so I thought he would be part of the
he's
guild.
one of the. Isn't he in the new Captain America movie? I thought.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's yeah.
Wow, I didn't know.
So he should be part. I thought you can't act without
Well,
joining
he
the
already
union.
finished it. No, you can. You don't have to be part of the union to do it.
Oh, I
if
thought.
anything, being in the movie puts him in the union.
He can apply for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, like you have to. There's rules to qualify. You can't just be like, I'm in SAG-AFTRA.
You have to have like at least a few lines of dialogue or something. Like I know that's how Aubrey Plaza got her SAG card.
Does that mean that like GSP doesn't George St. Pierre who was also because he has one line in 2 roles.
He probably has one. If he wanted it, like he could probably get it. I don't know if he's in it.
I'm only here so I can qualify for the card. So,
All right, the card is in the mail.
but I will say that since you already kind of we already discussed like the Pitch Black Uncle Howdy stuff, I will say an unpopular opinion storyline that I didn't like was when they tried to make Cody like the guy for WrestleMania this year after they like had this whole Sammy thing built up, and I feel like it just wasn't gonna work. I mean, now they're trying to figure it out now, but I'm one of those few people that actually was like kind of glad that he didn't win, because I felt like it would have been pandering at that point, because it was like 1 month of storyline to like an entire like 6 to 8 months that Sammy was like making some cool stuff happen with them, like making Roman the most interesting person that he's ever been. Like,
Yeah, looking back on it, because I was kind of in the Cody camp for it. It was not so much that I was behind Cody. I was just behind. I'm tired of Roman Reigns holding all the belts.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, we all
someone
watched
take
it.
away
We
from
watched
it.
it together when I was like dancing around the living room. Yeah. Roman wins, and I hate Roman, but I thought it made no sense to like put it on him already. So now they just don't know what they're doing with Cody. I think he's wrestling Brock again
Yeah.
for like the 7th time.
Yeah, Cody is wrestling Brock for sure.
He's got to finish the story.
But it's like One Piece. He's doing a side adventure right now.
Like for 100 episodes, he's doing the side story.
But I do think that the WWE does. I don't know. I mean, it's the Vince machine, but it's just like they don't believe in Sammy, despite Sammy keep putting himself over. I mean, I don't like the way that they randomly stop people like once in a while.
Yeah, he doesn't let anyone get momentum. It's
Yeah.
a big thing.
Yeah.
What was it Daniel Bryan got defeated by Batista in like 30 seconds or something like 10 years ago or whatever it was? Sheamus. Yeah. And then, so I kind of changed this topic a little bit just because it seems like most of us are not exactly up to date. Because it was originally we were going to do this topic where it was like, is Collision actually different from Dynamite? And now we just kind of changed it to
it's on Saturday. I'm usually not home.
And then just going to change it overall to just will the Elite and CM Punk ever coexist? And a little bit of a deep dive. For those that don't know, there was a really funny, I thought it was hilarious, press conference last year where CM Punk got really, well, he doesn't get drunk because he's straight edge, but he was eating muffins and just talking shit about everybody on the...
There was something really good in those muffins. Some real powerful shit in those.
Talking shit about everyone backstage, and then it ended up in a locker room fight where both parties were put on suspension, I guess is the best way to put it. And then the Elite came back first. CM Punk eventually did come back.
Well, CM Punk got injured.
I forgot about that part too.
Yeah, he was injured.
And then, I'm old. I'm tired. I'm old, and I work with children, and I work with people that couldn't manage a fucking target. That was CM Punk's line, but it all came down to this part where when Punk did come back, Tony literally created a way to separate them, almost a brand split, where everybody that is okay with working with Punk is on Collision, and everyone that isn't on Elite. And the one time that Punk was at Dynamite, everybody else was in Canada getting ready for the next pay-per-view. Wow. So, I mean, Kelly, you said you had a lot of CM Punk opinions. Let's go ahead and start with you.
I figured out where the camera is. I'm like... I will preface this by saying that I have like a small gap of time that I didn't watch wrestling, and apparently it was when CM Punk was very popular.
We're all on the same boat.
So I call it, I didn't watch the Cena years.
Yeah.
Every time, so when I literally remember John Cena coming out and he was a joke, like doing the rapping gimmick and getting thrown out in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't watch. And then I watched Shinsuke win the Royal Rumble in like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a couple of things because of OSW. OSW is a really good wrestling online kind of a podcast, not really. So I've caught up a little bit, but I did not watch for about 10, 12, 13 years. But yeah, I guess we all are on that kind of.
I missed the summer of Punk.
I feel like maybe I keep on, my partner is a person that really likes CM Punk in his original run at WWE, and I feel like I need to like be shown more stuff, because when I see stuff or like the promos, everyone has seen the promo where he's like sitting on the ramp complaining about
bomb.
stuff.
The pipe bomb.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that it's like when him cutting a promo on everyone, calling them basically like children and stuff, I was just like, I feel like he's always been this way, and people are like, he's not cool anymore. He's just like an asshole. And I'm like, he's always been an asshole. It's sad now because he's old.
Yeah.
Like, it's not cool anymore because he's not like young and edgy. You're like, he's an old man yelling at a cloud. So, and I'm like, this doesn't.
Everything.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've just never been a big on him, and it was really weird because he came back and did Forbidden Door like right when he first came back, and I was like, wait, he's a baby face in this match? It doesn't read like no one likes him right now, or at least like the crowd wasn't over on him.
Crowd, yeah.
I mean, he was capable of shifting to like heel for the match. I just think he needs to just be heel right now. It doesn't make sense to bring him back and try to push the babyface gimmick on him again.
They brought him back in Chicago, his home, where they're always going to cheer for him.
Yeah,
That's why.
Yeah, and then like at Forbidden Door, everyone's like, I hate you.
Well, there was also, I forgot who he wrestled at Forbidden Door, but
Kojima.
Yeah, Kojima.
He was originally supposed to wrestle, I think, Shibata or something like that. Kenta.
Oh, yeah.
Kenta.
Caps Lock Kenta, yeah.
And he was like, no, I don't want to work with him. And I'm like, why do you not want to work?
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Caps Lock Kenta is a very good wrestler. And yeah, I don't get that. That match looked really brutal. It looked like they were just being stiff on each other the whole thing. I mean, at the end of it, I feel like he was forced to kind of like show respect to Kojima, like at the end, but like the whole way through, I felt like they were just like, Kojima's like, I'm not going to tolerate you being like a little bitch.
Well, that's the other thing about him being on Collision that hasn't really been discussed about, but I've seen people talk about it where it's like who he could potentially work with, and it's like, well, if he works with Rush, he's going to get killed. If he works with anybody in the House of Black, except for maybe Malachi, because he's also old and broken too.
Yeah.
But like Buddy Murphy would also kill him.
Yes.
Brody would also kill him. Like,
Yes.
there's not a long list of people that he can wrestle and will wrestle his style. Because even when he wrestled Hangman doesn't have like the most insane offense, but he couldn't do like the buckshot lariat. He tripped himself up twice.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what it would be like fighting Rush, who would just want to throw him from ring to ring to buckle.
I just feel like at some point they're eventually going to be like, okay, you're working yourself into a corner. You don't want to work with anyone, and no one really wants to work with you anymore. So, like, I don't know. At some point, I feel like they're like, okay, we're just gonna be done with you. Yeah. I mean,
I love Malachi Black, but I do understand that, and maybe this is behind the scenes dirt sheets, and this has all just become AJ moment. Like, Malachi is great. Nah. Supposedly he can't really walk too well. Like, he's just at that point where he's taking too many injuries. I don't. But then again, I mean, dirt sheets are wrong all the time. I don't know. But Juan, you've been kind of quiet. Like, what's your opinion about all this stuff going on?
I mean, just to bring it back to the Summer Punk, I did see some of it because all of that happened while I was in college. But it's college years, you're partying and going to class and stuff. So a lot of my memory
call you pendejo over there.
And my mom, for those of you that missed that during the whiskey show, rewind it and listen to that. But yeah, so I was there for a lot of the hype, and there was this one guy that we would watch wrestling with, and he was really into CM Punk. He had the shirt, he would wear it to like all the Monday and Friday night SmackDowns and stuff. And I mean, he was just really into CM Punk. He knew all his backstory and everything. Hardcore fan. And me, it's like, man, I don't know. Like I can see that like in the ring, like he has talent, but like nah, like I don't really like him, stuff like that. And then at the time, that's when he was going like the heel route because it was the pipe bomb. He stole the belt from Cena and whatnot. But yeah, even at his peak, for me, he was never the guy.
So my dad has always had but my dad grew up watching Lucha Libre and stuff in Mexico, but he always had a weird opinion on American wrestling where it's like the more popular they are, the lamer they are when it comes to their moveset. Because he like grew up watching Lucha Libre. At a certain point was watching Hulk Hogan. His finisher was a leg drop.
Yeah.
The rock bottom is just...
Yeah.
Yeah. So. our dad is the exact same way because he's like, his main thing is with Lucha Libre is that it's more acrobatic. So visually, it's really appealing to see these guys do backflips and whatnot. As opposed to, he said, in American wrestling, it's just big buff dudes slamming into each other, you know.
Yeah.
Big meaty men bumping meat, you know. And so he doesn't really like get that, and but again, that is like a really big difference with it. It's, you know, visually high flyers, you know, it's appealing as opposed to, I guess, here that it's just guys grappling each other.
But it's
Rest hold.
Rest. Yeah, that was the actual problem because I have fun watching like Zack Sabre Jr. or even back in the day William Regal like just twist people into knots.
Yeah.
But I don't have fun like watching. And this was actually something that Cody brought up in one of his promos. But I was like, actually, a Triple H match not that great most of the time. But I mean, I guess over this, do you believe it? Do any of you, anyone's free to answer this? The rumors that Punk is willing to work with any of the guys and things like that he's been trying to reach out because that's been on the dirt sheets.
No, I don't believe it because it's like what is it, like history repeats itself.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, there's that expression that like if you think everyone's an asshole, the problems may be you. I think that's what's happening here with CM Punk. He keeps saying like, no, these guys, they don't want to work with me and all this stuff. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm starting to think the problem's you.
I'm like, it's Hangman and Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, who are historically like people that everyone's like, they're so nice, they're so cool, they like will put anyone over if it's a good match, and then it's like old man yelling at Cloud like, no, they don't want to play with me. It's like, come on, Punk. We know the truth.
I've never heard like a bad story involving like Kenny Omega, and that might be just because he's Canadian.
Well, that was I was about to say in the brawl in the back room, like there's a he said she said element to it, but for the most part, both sides were like, punches started flying, and Kenny Omega was like, let me rescue this dog. Like, both sides at least kind of agreed, like, the Young Bucks are fucking... well, there's one side that's like, the Young Bucks are fucking assholes. But Kenny, though, he just cared about the dog.
Yeah, that's the one part of the story that's been confirmed by both sides. So that much is true.
But yeah... Flip side of that token, I've heard tons of shitty stories about Punk, and some of them aren't even from wrestlers. Some of them are UFC, from like UFC or like he ran a marathon one time, and this is a story he proudly told where he like lied to a woman and told her that there was toilet paper in the porta potty.
Oh man.
So yeah, like I just don't trust Punk, and a lot of his mystique wore off for me because I was like tangentially watching pay-per-views only. Like I became that fan. So I
sorry, Frisco Flame in the chat. So that was literally shitty.
Yeah, but a lot of the Punk mystique wore off when he went to the UFC, and I was
yeah.
So you lost in round one, like all this training, like, and you threw a wild punch like that doesn't even land. Like
the problem with his UFC run is the second fight was actually worse because the dude. I feel like Dana whispered into his ear, like,
he got knocked down the ladder of Mortal Kombat.
Well, yeah, the guy he was fighting was also 0-0, and he was 0-1, and then it became this weird thing where I want to say that Dana was like, don't don't overdo it kind of thing. But it ended up being that he just was playing with him for 3 rounds. And he was like, dude, if you don't finish this, fuck. Like,
Game introvert Power said, so he's a punk.
but yeah, I don't know how that's going to play out. I think the brand split, like, there's a couple of people that he can work with, but I don't know how it's going to go on forever. I do think that Collision is a little bit of a different show. Part of that has to do with FTR being in the mix as well. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. Because, I mean, it's the thing about wrestling and what has always interested me is, like, you have to do it every week. It's not like name your favorite TV show. They have a season for 2 or 3 months, and then they get to plan it out. No, wrestling is like...
Every week.
Every week.
So this is a third show now. They got rid of Dark, and they're doing Rampage, Dynamite, and Collision now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that is way too... Wait, are they all 2 hours? Is Dynamite 3 hours now? I'm not...
No, they're all 2 hours.
They're all 2 hours. That's so much wrestling for a week.
I think Rampage might be an hour, though, sometimes.
That's too short. That's like Heat was, and we saw how successful Heat was.
Yeah, but Heat was like such a weird throwaway show.
It
like,
was just the pre-show to the pay-per-view.
I was like, we all remember like the Super Bowl Heat half times.
I was like, my only memories of Heat are actually like Scotty Too Hottie and things
That's
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
It was just Scotty Too Hottie. He was the only one that was there. He was just like, all right, guys, turn the lights on. Not all the lights, though. It's just Scotty. It's just like...
Well, on to our more fun topic. This is open to anybody, whoever wants to take it first. Like, wrestling has had this weird thing where I think it's really funny where AEW to build it. Like, AEW actually is pretty good at building new stars, but the Young Bucks are 36. Most of the people that WWE are pushing are 40 to 45 for the most part. Who is going to be the next guy? Who's like in 5 years? Whose ascent are we watching? Who's the next person?
Does anyone want to take it, or if not, I can go first.
You can go first. You sound excited.
Okay, yeah. Really easy. Danhausen.
Danhausen is also like 40.
Doesn't matter. He's the next guy. Doesn't matter. Age is just a number. He has the ability to curse people, so he doesn't need to be physically strong.
Yeah.
The curse.
Has he actually had a match yet since he's been in AEW?
He was injured, and I think he had like
Doing
a tag
what?
match.
Cursing people.
Holding a bottle of teeth?
He debuted injured. Like,
Yeah.
He had his leg broken or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That's right, because he got injured on the Indies. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they took him anyways.
But I
think the ink was dry already.
The problem with Danhausen is he is kind of similar to LA Knight or even Matt Riddle, where it's like, dude, these guys are 40. They're not going to do it for very much longer.
Well, he might last a while since he's not actually wrestling, so.
Yeah, that's who XTC John. What's the name of the guy in WWE? Yeah, that's the LA Knight. He's
LA
been
Knight's
westing.
42.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
Chat's
just the
throwing
sad
out
state
my
of how
picks.
bad people are on promos that they're like, LA Knight got buried at Royal Rumble
Jungle Jack.
in the pitch black Mountain Dew pitch black Bray Wyatt Firefly Mr. Howdy match. And he's the top guy now. It's like I think I don't watch SmackDown because who actually wants to? But suddenly I was like, he's it. Like he's the guy. People are like, he's gonna beat the streak with Roman Reigns. I was like, the guy who like job to Bray Wyatt at the Uncle Howdy pitch black Mountain Dew Royal Rumble match. No.
Well, that match didn't do a whole hell of a lot for LA Knight,
No.
but it did really make me want a Mountain Dew.
Those energy drinks are actually really good. I hoard them now. I like the
didn't
pitch
even know
black.
it was-
It made me want the pitch. It's purple too, so I liked it.
I didn't even know it was an energy drink till right
yeah,
now.
yeah. There's an energy drink.
Yeah.
I would say that I think if we're talking about like mainstream like sports entertainment wrestling, I would probably say for WWE, I think Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
He's probably about to get the call up. Like I think that after SummerSlam, he might. I know that like he's at the top right now in NXT. So, and anyone who doesn't know him, he's
Scott Steiner's.
No, he's
nephew.
He's Rick Steiner's
Yeah.
son. Yeah, we don't speak of him. The other Steiner. Yeah, everyone's like
forget-
Scott Steiner's nephew. I'm like, yes, Rick Steiner's son, the other wrestler.
Well, they both. I think, which one got in trouble recently?
Rick.
Rick.
Yeah, Rick's kicked out of what is it called? The WrestleCon for saying some choice words towards the transgendered community. WrestleCon was like, we didn't know that people were offended by it, so we told him not to come back next time. And everyone's like, what? I mean, he was.
Good on you.
Yeah. Well, they're like, well, he apologized to us, and I'm like, and everyone was like, no, he needs to go. He was being really rude. So, but yeah, no, which is unfortunate because I was a big Rick Steiner fan. Like, I liked Rick over Scotty more. So
I keep forgetting Rick exists.
I love Rick Steiner. Well, I mean, I did, but I mean, also like, surprise, wrestlers from the 80s and 90s are like homophobes, transphobes, racist, bigots, assaulters. Wow, who knew?
Shocking.
Shocker.
It is really cool when you hear about one of the better ones. So Jesse Ventura has always won a lot of points for me.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just, into conspiracies. But that's like.
Who isn't though? Who isn't?
The
JJ?
government just admitted UFOs and aliens exist.
Right, yeah,
this week.
like. I wasn't necessarily saying that as a negative.
But he also does believe that the government has a weather controlling device.
Right, but that's because he was in the hospital at the same time as the G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, oh my god. I like how Braun Breaker.
That's my buddy Sarge up there. I got a weather dominator.
You were saying.
I was gonna say Braun Breaker. I really tried to think of a woman, because I feel like, I mean, unfortunately, mainstream wrestling has not the best women's program on either side of the fence. There's issues with WWE and AEW. I would say you'll have to look at Japanese women's wrestling if you're going to find someone that's like over. Your podcast is next. Calm down.
He's getting crunk for it. I will say that my answer is actually a woman. Just because here's a weird thing that I do. I judge things off memes. It was a movie really impactful. If there's a lot of memes about it, yes. So I didn't see the Barbie movie. I think people love the Barbie movie in general because there's a lot of memes. Mission Impossible, no memes. So maybe it's okay. And this woman, like, she has taken over the memeverse where I've seen rappers talk about her. I've seen random, like, people talk about her where it's just like, who's this goth chick that's just...
I'm right here. You don't have to
that's
talk
just
about
folding
me.
women left and right. And it's Rhea Ripley. She's only 25.
Yes, yeah. Rhea is actually much younger than people think she is because she got into NXT, I think, when she was 18. So she's super young. She has a pretty good a career. I was like, I don't want to say she's the next person because she's already there. Like, she's literally the women's champion right now. Like, I don't know how much higher she's going to get.
But you can be the
Both
champion.
belts.
I was about to say you can be you can get the belt and not be the person.
That's true.
Was the Maharaja? Dude, he had the championship Jinder
Yeah.
Mahal had the championship. Yeah, and I completely forget he exists sometimes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they forgot he exists.
I think that they've written themselves into a corner, though, with Rhea because I don't know anyone that's currently in WWE women's roster that can, like, dethrone her that I would be like, this is correct.
Yeah.
Like, literally no one. And if I swear to God, anyone says Liv Morgan, I will find you and I will kill you.
So WWE is stuck in and they're always stuck in old people gear. That's why people are like, oh, the person that can take the belt off Roman is Randy Orton. I'm like, do you really want him to do it?
Randy shouldn't even be wrestling anymore. His doctor's like, no. And he's like, no.
But when it comes to
Well, the doctor hasn't been able to do anything about the voices in his head either.
We're not at that section yet. We're not at that section yet. That's the next round. Next question.
but when it comes to is Rhea the next person? I mean, she still has to fight Charlotte, Asuka, Bianca. There's people there. They're just not they're already there. That's
they're the people. That's the thing is that they have like a bag of like 6 women that they have, and they're just like, all right, and anytime a belt's on screen, Charlotte's like feral, just like crawling out of like whatever hot dog cart she dumped herself in. I smell a belt. Is there a belt here? I'm gonna take it. No more Charlotte Flair. I do love Charlotte Flair. She's a ridiculous person, and her wrestling is okay. But like, no more Charlotte Flair. No more Becky Lynch for like a year. Like, can we just stop with like? I want new
Becky
people.
Becky has actually taken a break
also,
for most of this year too.
I actually really like the Becky Lynch era that's going on right now, where she's still doing the man stuff, but like, it's not like trying to get to the top belt. Like, she's just like, her and Seth are doing something right now that I think is really fun, where I think they're actually just doing matches that are for them. Instead of like what is like supposed to be towards the audience, because they're like this era of Seth Rollins has been like probably my favorite, and I never really liked him, but I like the Seth Rollins. So, watch me.
I mean, it is very weird to watch. At least WWE. Well, actually, even AEW is doing it too, where it's just like. Because it started off with, at least in AEW, as like a weird shtick where it's like, oh, random tag team match. But WWE does that every other week where it's like, oh, Ronda and Charlotte, they're kind of the same. And glue.
Yeah, the tag team division for the women's division is like, it's like, I don't know. I think they just have names and like a thing somewhere in the back where they're like, who's together this week? Like, it's literally like the manager's like, okay, who called out this week? All right, who can we just like smash together? So, for some reason, everyone likes Raquel and Liv together, and I'm like, they're so unfortunately boring to look at. So I don't get it. But the AEW division has, I think, it's a different issue where there's no levels of division, and it's just like everything is the same. Everyone's on the same level, and so like the women are all like, you know, it's all just a mess over there. You do need some level of organization to wrestling, where there's like the top division and like the cruiserweight division and stuff like that, and they don't really have that clear organization over there. So I think that's what's causes their women's division to suffer. It's just, and also Britt Baker.
Lack of screen time.
Yeah, it's like, I was actually talking to my partner the other night about this, because it's like when people focus on like Britt Baker and Taya Valkyrie had a god awful match the other night, and that was like, sometimes people aren't compatible in the ring, but the thing is that women get like one match a show.
Yeah.
Whereas men get like 5 to 10. And so like when men are not compatible in the ring, it's glossed over because you're already seeing another match with men. But like women, they get like 1 match, 2 matches a week of airtime. And so you're just like hyper fixated on it, because you get like for every one women's match, there's like 10 to 15 men's matches. So it's easier to pick out the flaws. And they're like, oh, the women's division is so bad. And it's like, well, we only get 1 match. So, and if that match has like 1 issue in it, they're like, this is why women are bad wrestlers, or like, this is a bad wrestler, or bad booking, like bad talent, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, give us more matches. I don't know. Stop making it Britt Baker. She's not that great. So
I had a lot of fun. I don't even know how long ago it was. 3 or 4 years. COVID is a black hole that just it distorts time. But when WWE did their whole women's pay-per-view, I actually really enjoyed that. And then they were like, never again. Nobody watched it.
That was the most disappointing thing about Forbidden Door, is that I was really excited about the idea of like maybe getting some girls from like Stardom to come over. Like, I know that they're kind of wanting to do something with like Mercedes and Julia, and I think both of them were like injured at the time. Julia is the one one that I would also say to like look at. Like, I mean, like, yeah, she's like pretty much at the top in Japan, but like I think that she could also like do a very cool thing in sports entertainment in the U.S. as well. She has that personality for it.
Who is it?
Julia. You spell it Giulia.
Dragon.
I don't think she has a last name, but it's just Julia. No last name. Caps lock Julia. Yeah, she is also very young. I mean, like all the women wrestlers over there are like in their early 20s. Like they start them young because they used to have like rules governing like how old you could get before you had to like leave women's wrestling in Japan to like have a family. So, but she's a badass. I like her group a lot. Her and Thekla. Thekla is actually my favorite woman wrestler over in Japan right now. She's like this tiny Austrian woman that like just rips people to shreds. She's really cool. So
I've had a lot of recommendations to watch Stardom.
I was gonna say, I think Goliath has a good point. He mentioned in the chat that Michael Cole nitpicks the women's matches, and yeah, I think that's part of it. If the commentary team isn't even into the match, then that negativity that it doesn't translate, and so yeah,
they're supposed to sell you the match.
Yeah.
And so they're not selling it for the crowd. The crowd's not gonna be into it, and well, yeah, it's gonna flop no matter how great the talent in the ring is.
And then just moving on to the next topic. This is a little bit more of a fun one before we get into the one that is going to be a little bit of a debate. Who has your favorite theme song right now?
Ooh, huh.
are we talking about like just in mainstream wrestling?
You can go anywhere. I mean, if you want to say that, like, enter like Metallica, Sandman, like whatever, that'd be fine.
Wait, does the Elite still have the theme song from Supernatural by Kansas? Because that'll be my pick. Carry On My Wayward Son. There you go.
EJ Movement saying Leo Rush's theme is really good. I don't know what that sounds like actually.
Yeah, Leo Rush is back in Japan now.
He's retired and not retired three times.
Well, I think that he's been doing a lot of indie stuff, but he also is over in Japan wrestling with. The last time I saw him was in, like, they're like kind of like a cruiserweight tournament with the Super Junior tournament. It scared me.
That's okay.
So we're talking current, right?
You can go past if you want. Just what's your favorite?
No, we don't have all day. We have like,
we are at the halfway point right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I would say if I'm talking like most current, the first thing that comes to mind for me is probably Chris Jericho.
Which one?
Judas. I don't know why you.
Maybe you really like the countdown.
Theme? Yeah, I love it when people tell me no. Yeah, yes, that's
people
definitely
legitimately
not
do like that one though.
Yeah, no, I love Chris Jericho. I've loved him since I was like a kid. So, but I mean, we're saying current, and I assume current meant like anything past like 2001.
That's 20 years.
Yeah, I know. That's not current. No, I love Judas. I think it's fun. I think I started ironically loving it because it would annoy my friend Reed when we would go to shows together. And he was like sitting there like Martin Scorsese in his chair, like, and I'm just like, yeah. And now I'm just like, nope, I love it.
AJ Movement's bringing up the Big Show. I love the meme that for the longest time that there's a group of people that thought like it was the Big Show actually singing the entrance to it.
I thought it was him too.
A lot of wrestlers actually will sing their own songs. It happens more often on the indies because they're poor. But no, it happens. Like, I mean, who was it? Shawn Michaels. His song, like the first iteration of it was Sherry Martel. And then at Simmons, his version's better. Hers is kind of weird. So I'm trying to think of other theme songs.
I kind of like Hooks.
Hooks? I don't even know what that
I don't even remember. I don't know his.
Like,
huh? Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That's right because Action Bronson came out and like performed it at one of the shows.
AEW's.
Yeah, you don't need to know. These 16 bars cost
That is fun.
I just like that riff, man. Yeah, it's a sweet riff.
I will say that AEW is actually really cool at picking up acts. That being said, the random dude that sang Brian Danielson's theme, I was like, you can take a lap.
What about at SummerSlam when Boogs performed Shinsuke Nakamura's and Shinsuke Nakamura came out and danced around and didn't actually wrestle. He just was out there just to dance around. At SummerSlam, I was like, this is actually the best act this year. That was great.
Well, Shinsuke is actually what got me back in when I saw him wrestle, and then I started going backwards and forwards.
Well, speaking of Shinsuke, the Lil Uzi Vert did a song.
Oh yeah, I've listened to it.
Now he has a new song. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got rid of Boogs. Okay, I don't even think he goes by Boogs anymore. I think no, he's still Boogs. It's the other one. Yeah.
Mine is he actually shared our content. It's Eddie Kingston's theme. Is a lot of fun just because it reminds me of Castlevania. Found out way later it actually is a remix of the just go play a couple of things.
See, someone said in the comments Asuka's old theme, and I was like,
it's very DMX-y vibes.
I was gonna say I actually like Asuka's new theme better.
I do like it too. But
when she came out as Kana, yeah.
That's because she sells the entrance so well, though.
No, it's great. I love it. I mean, I like the old one and I like the new one. It's kind of like Rhea. Rhea had like a remix done because it was New Year's Day, and then now I think it's Motionless in White. She finally agreed to the internet meme because everyone said they were the same person, and she's like, yes. But yeah.
Anyone else got any other?
Does Randy Orton's songs technically count? It's been the same song for 45 years. But, I mean, I really love it.
Keeps hearing those voices.
He hated his original one.
The one that he had like.
Hey, nothing
you could say.
He hated that one, and so he went to like Vince with like a CD, and he's like, "This is the song I want. Please change it." And he's like, "Don't worry, you got it." And then like CM Punk came up to the song.
Well, he got suspended.
Oh,
Randy
okay.
Orton,
So they gave the song to CM Punk.
Drugs or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. But yeah, apparently he wanted
drugs.
the song, but they gave it to Punk.
Yeah.
Goliath bringing up ass man. That's
It's daddy ass now.
Yes, man. He just retired on Collision.
Malachi Black has retired 2 people, kind of.
Yeah.
I did see that episode of Collision, and I was very sad. I was like, well, son of a bitch.
Someone's watching Collision.
Collision has a ladder match today between Brody and Andrade. That should be pretty cool.
That actually sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been super dropped, but they've built him up since Collision came back.
Andrade? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was gone for a minute. I don't know if it was injury based or like issue based or anything like that. But I heard that he finally is ending his contract with, who is it? AA Wrestling?
AAA
Wrestling, and so that he'll be able to him and Rush are both ending their contract, so they'll be able to qualify for Forbidden Door next year.
EJ Movement, it's not actually, he didn't actually retire him, but he beat up Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes did this thing where he took off his boots, and then Malachi Black appeared behind him and just beat the shit out of him.
That's hilarious.
When I say we're done.
I just want him to hit him with them, like, gah, gah, gah.
And then before we get into a really fun topic, what's your favorite storyline going on right now?
Whatever Kelly picks.
I have a fun one that's really random because this is from the indies, and it's the dumbest thing that should never work. But I thought it was hilarious.
I'm sorry. I saw
it's
spoilers.
Blue. It's Blue Cane.
He's already been kicked off of Twitter. Like, yeah, WWE
he came back. You just can't say he's Kane.
Yeah. They already sent him a cease and desist. He's like, I'm Blue Cane. Completely different.
Legally distinct from
from just Kane.
A Blue Cane having ice powers was hilarious.
Oh, that was great. I was like,
I'm gonna see if I can find the entrance real quick on TikTok where maybe they pulled it too because, like you said, there was a cease and desist, and I don't even think he's as tall as regular Kane.
Take to tackle.
I guess while you're looking for it, I'll say mine really quick. The current arc with Jungle Boy trying to become Jungle Man.
Here we go.
Oh, I never knew that he had Eiffel Tower, or what was it? Eiffel 65. Eiffel Tower.
And then snow comes.
Great. He's the next guy. I changed my answer. Blue Cane. Blue Cane is the next guy.
We're changing her.
Sign him up. Sign him up. I'm just gonna go back to previous segments. I'm like, I changed my answer.
Cool Ranch Cane.
Well, JJ, what's your answer?
Whatever Kelly says.
Why are we defaulting to me? I'm just like everyone's just like, I just agree with Kelly. You're like reading my notes. I gotta say it first in the goth corner. Best storyline right now. I don't know. The first thing, that's off the top of my head is, the Roman Reigns storyline has taken over everything. The Bloodline stuff is like really, it's getting really good.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is like a wet blanket, but Sami Zayn made him very interesting, and I think he finally figured out how to make himself interesting now, because recently I just noticed that Paul Heyman doesn't even really talk anymore. No, it's just in the background doing GIF reactions, but Roman's doing all the talking now, and he used to be terrible on the mic, and I don't know. The storyline's really interesting. I don't know how they're going to end it. I assume that they're going to keep it going until at least next WrestleMania, just based on I don't think Jay's going to pull the title off of him. I think that they're going to try to figure out maybe getting Cody back to the position of building the storyline with him after SummerSlam to next year. I started looking at the stats of who's held the belt the longest, and so how many reigns has he broken records of. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen anywhere this year. I think it's going to be at least WrestleMania. I don't know who's going to be. Maybe Cody. I don't know. But
Cody has to go through the same challenges that Roman did. So he has to wrestle Brock.
Yeah.
9 times.
75 times. More Brock. It's just Brock. Every time he's got to finish that story. I will say that it's not really a storyline, but something I am very emotionally invested in is Walter keeping the title for at least this next pay-per-view. I know
that's a storyline.
Because I think that if he can keep it past SummerSlam, he will have had the Intercontinental title the longest out of anybody. He just has to have it 50 more days, and then he has the longest reign for that title. So I know that I've heard that Drew McIntyre is leaving.
No, he resigned.
Is he resigning? Okay. Well, I don't I could see him winning it, but I want them to have this as a feud, and you can have Walter win during SummerSlam, beat the streak, and then at Survivor Series have McIntyre win, and then it's still all of it works, and they have more storyline, because they kind of just introduced him in last minute at Money in the Bank. So I would like Walter to beat the streak.
DP Jackson, I'm not going to WrestleMania, but I have on my bullet list, I want to see Josh Burnett's Bloodsport next year. And I didn't know that it only happens during WrestleManias in that city.
Yeah.
So I could have seen it in Dallas last year where TJ went, but I fucking didn't know about it. I've learned about it over time, and Josh Burnett's Bloodsport looks like the funnest, dumb UFC smack 'em up type thing.
Yeah, it's really fun. They if people ever look at the shows that they run during the week of WrestleMania, that's when you get to be introduced to a lot of really fun wrestling on different levels too. So because everyone just goes to those towns to kind of get the money from the WrestleMania money. Yeah, a ton of indie shows. And next year it's going to be in Philly, so it's more affordable than LA.
Also, way more rowdy, I assume.
Yeah.
Because it's Philly.
Well, a lot of people didn't go this year because it was in LA and it's so expensive to fly there, stay there, rent out space there, and so it wasn't as big this year as it will be like next year. Dallas was pretty big too. They had a ton of shows. So,
just for a little bit, just gonna show people a clip of Josh Burnett's Bloodsport. Just because it's so weird, like because they take off the ring ropes, and then I don't know, like because it's called Bloodsport, it just hits me with Kumite vibes all over.
Someone got pocket sand and just blinds them for.
I get stressed out about the amount of people that just don't wear shoes in the ring. I'm like, ugh. Like, you're putting the feet out for free?
I mean, technically, no. There's butts in those seats. They're there for the feet.
They are. They're there for the feet.
And then
That's a shirt I should have worn today.
Here is going to be a fun, controversial debate. And it starts easy, and then it gets harder as it goes. But overall, did they do net good or net bad for the wrestling business? So we're going to start off kind of easy with Conan.
I like how that was the easy one, because when you sent me this list, I was like, what did Conan do?
So Conan, the only controversial thing that he did, as far as I know, besides arguing with Disco Inferno every other week.
Oh, that's controversial? Disco Inferno
he brought back Marty Scurll last year.
Oh, really?
In the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Marty Scurll, if you guys don't know, he was going to be the next indie darling to a degree, and then the Me Too movement caught up in wrestling, and he was one of the dudes that got in trouble. But Conan's defense was like, he's still a star. Like, there's nothing wrong with me booking him. And that's
okay. Well, when I did Googling, I found out that he also apparently is actively booking Alberto Del Rio. So
that's another one.
Yeah, which is a pretty big one there. He's not even a good wrestler. Like, oh my God. Just like, there's better wrestling assaulters. Come on. Like, at least make it a decent wrestler. Like, you're going to die on the hill of Alberto Del Rio.
I do think Conan was a lot of fun, though, because he was the only, like, super... I mean, Eddie Guerrero eventually would take on that mantle, but in the late 90s, the fact that he got pushed, like, as this cool side character in NWO Wolfpack, I was like, oh, like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I liked Conan. I mean, when I was growing up in the 90s, I thought Conan was a really cool wrestler, so... But I didn't know anything about his, like, controversial opinions, but,
Booking decisions.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, of course.
Well, I do think Disco has a point in their podcast where he's like, you keep lending these guys to AEW just for them to get smashed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just basing on what I'm hearing right now, I mean, I'm willing to swing it to net bad. Sorry. I just got really confused. When you said Conan, I thought you meant the Barbarian. I'm like, well, yeah, he's bad. He kills people. There's a debate.
Conan O'Brien.
Not good. He gave
good.
The world Danhausen.
Yes.
Danhausen was already there, but he got the Conan push.
We all remember him on the Sugar and Spice movie. He was the sex icon of that movie.
On to the next one. Just controversial opinions once in a while across the board. It has no negative things that he's done, as far as I know, besides behind the scenes things, and that's Kevin Nash.
I'm gonna say not good.
Same.
Yeah, like you said, nothing really like super controversial.
Yeah.
Super Shredder. And the Russian in the Tom Jane Punisher, where he legit got stabbed by Tom Jane. Oh yeah.
Rakeen is bringing up Kevin Nash and Vince Russo single-handedly destroyed WCW. I did forget about.
There was a lot.
There was a lot of layers to that.
I don't think that they were just the only two. I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of other things that happened at WCW in the year 2000 of our Lord Jesus Christ. That ruined WCW. I would say net positive. Although I am pretty annoyed that he wasn't Sabretooth in the X-Men movie. But we can't all be perfect, Kevin Nash. I mean, he was also. I mean, he was in what was it? He was in Magic Mike.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Yep. Man, it's once you notice that it's him though in the left corner of the whole movie, I'm like. Big sexy, all right. I know that he has everyone's like, oh, he politics himself, and I was like, what man in the 90s didn't?
Right.
One of my favorite wrestlers of all time is Big Van Vader, and Vader's like, I'm not doing nothing for nobody, no favors, everyone's just going out on their back. Like, suck it. So it's like, if you're gonna say Kevin Nash is the problem, like you have to say that everybody else is the problem, because like all the old guys, like the old school guys, like they didn't want newer guys coming in at all. Like I literally was watching Dark Side of the Ring last night, and Andre the Giant like choked out Bam Bam Bigelow in Madison Square Garden because he's like, "You're gonna learn, little kid." And I'm like, Bam Bam Bigelow, I'm gonna teach you. But no, I think that Kevin Nash is a very positive role model. I think that he's very active about like conversations. I mean, yes, he politicked a lot in the 90s. So, but I don't have any issues with him. I think he's cool.
JJ?
Same.
Yeah.
Net positive.
Yeah.
I agree with it. The only thing that I think is funny is once in a while he'll talk random shit about like, oh, I hate AEW, but I feel like that's just brand
Me
loyalty.
too, Kevin Nash. Net, how can I make it more positive? Net more positive now. All right, let's go.
Next one, Triple H. That is 100% just backstage politics.
Oh. I mean,
oh man, I could have put Randy Orton on this list for the dickhead.
We only have so much time. Like, we can't just keep on putting more people on there. Like,
well, Triple H, famous for the golden shovel and burying people and whatever, the backstage politics. You can say he did a lot of net bad when he was
on the active roster.
On the roster. But once he got behind the scenes, he booked NXT to be what it is. For the small stint that he was in charge of WWE was a lot of fun. Yeah. So,
I mean, I'm leaning in the camp of good just based on present day. Like, it's, you could say it's like his redemption arc almost.
Yeah.
But like, it's just we can't really know for sure because he's still being held back by like, you know, other people. But I do think, like, yeah, like the NXT, he does push talent when they need a proper push. So, yeah, in that sense, I would say good. The only bad recent thing that he probably did, because I think this one was him, is he brought Logan Paul.
But he also brought Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he also brought Poppy. I'm still waiting. That's the next up and comer, Poppy. I'm waiting for her to become a women's wrestler. Like, let's go, Poppy.
Did you see what Margot Robbie just said in an interview recently? I thought it was super entertaining.
What about thinking about dying?
No, what? No, that's what she said in the movie.
Oh, okay.
No, Margot Robbie, because she was being interviewed about the Barbie movie, and she was like, "I really don't like the stigma that women don't like."
Oh yeah, I saw that about fight scenes or like action sequences or anything like that. And
yeah,
she was like,
"I really like wrestling." Like she was like, "I really like Stone Cold," and it's like it's amazing to see what Bianca Belair is doing now, because then maybe I would have gotten into wrestling. I was like that.
Yeah, no, in the 90s, women's wrestling was literally like just like, I mean, I'm not mad about it, but it was like evening gown matches and like bra and panty matches, you know, swimsuit matches. Yeah. Like women were just like meant to be like an accessory to the men, and so and like when the women were wrestlers, I mean, Trish is coming back and trying to like erase her past history, because when I first saw Trish Stratus, God, she was terrible. And then at the end of her original run, she was still not great, but she wasn't like trying to wrestle in high heels or anything, or like barking like a dog. So like at 50 now, she's like, I'm gonna prove that I can wrestle. So
But there is an element of
But it's different now.
yeah. That's 100%. But that means there's an alternative universe not too far from this universe where Margot Robbie is fighting Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an alternate dimension.
Isn't that what we're gonna see at SummerSlam with like Liv Morgan or whatever? Oh God. No, that's I hate Liv Morgan so much.
So overall, Triple H not good. We all kind of agree.
I would say not good.
I would say anyone that had a Terminator entrance is definitely net bad. That's like you got like a multi-billion-dollar company. You can't get like at least cool-looking Terminators.
Something over. All right, it's just the glasses.
All right.
Next one, we're gonna have your favorite person, Chris Jericho.
Oh, I love Chris Jericho. That's it. Then we're done.
Chris Jericho has this weird thing where even in the period where I wasn't watching wrestling, but things made the news, like Chris Benoit and his family, unfortunately, I was like, why is Chris Jericho on every news channel? Like, this is the one wrestler that you're going to turn to. And it's not bad. He's just kind of a media hog. No. The part where he gets into controversial fun territory is asking his wife where she was on January 6th.
Yeah.
Well, this is about Chris Jericho, okay?
Not his wife.
Not his wife.
And her alleged
We weren't talking. We weren't talking about like Stephanie McMahon or the other people. I don't know who Conan's married to, so the joke ends there.
And then what else did he? Oh, he had the Trumps on his podcast. It's up to you how to take or leave on that part. But overall, he does have a really big history. Didn't he? Did he stand up to Goldberg or Brock?
Brock.
Both.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Where he always does stand up for the little guy. He's super not racist, and he is a giver. He's taken the fall for a lot of people. So it's just like wrestling stuff, great. Don't ask him about his politics, probably. But I mean, that's not just him.
That's so many of them. Like don't meet your heroes. I mean, literally, the Undertaker donates to Ted Cruz. Like, so.
One of the worst things that I ever saw was Undertaker's house on Hot Ones. And I'm like, why do you live in such a suburban white mom house?
It's Westlake. It's required to look that way. You have to have 17 bedazzled crosses in order to live there. But no fences. Those are tacky.
Like, why do I need so many bejeweled crosses? Am I going to fight Dracula?
Well, he is the Undertaker. He probably awakens some demons.
I mean, have you seen Dracula in Westlake? No. Dracula lives with the pores.
Those crosses are working.
Yeah, they're working.
On to the next one, and this one's really fun for me. Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette, known to say a lot of racist shit just once in a while off the cuff. Also, super liberal and will defend you. He'll just say the N-word as he does it.
That guy.
That is 100% what he does. He's from West Virginia, so, I mean, plus or minus.
He's not?
No, he's mad because...
Were you like the only one that didn't know that Jim Cornette drops the N-word?
No, it's Tuesday.
Also, in this whole wider, apparently his podcast is owned by a company. He's never taken payment, and now that the strike is going on, and the people that help write and run his podcast, he's paying them out of his pocket.
Yeah.
So it's this weird. Like I told you, these get more confusing as we go on.
And that's not even getting into like the fact that he's probably like one of the biggest wrestling historians.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, it's one thing that his personal opinions are one thing, but when it comes to wrestling, this man is dedicated and he knows his stuff. He knows the industry inside and out because he's been in it for so many years. So when it comes to like, if you need him for a documentary or an interview or something, he's your guy. But then there's all this baggage on the side.
You're gonna have to do a lot of editing.
I was gonna say,
think about that.
as far as a wrestling historian goes, like Jim Cornette is pretty cool. Like he knows everything.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
And he
been in the business
has
for-
half of it at his
Yeah.
house. Let him-
Yeah.
Oh God. Net bad just for the man has like posters from the like vintage posters from the 1920s, like posters that you will never find again in your lifetime, and they're just like pinned to the ceiling with like tacks, like or taped to the ceiling. Like the man can't afford a frame. Like what is this? Like
I
oh
think
my
they've
God.
just been up in that ceiling for so long that if he moves them,
cut the ceiling out. Like he's got the money. Come on. Oh, but yeah, no. I think that as far as his opinions go, I think that he's not able to be able to move his. He's not progressive with his opinion. Like it doesn't change over time. Like he's not adapting to new wrestling or like anything post COVID. Like he says things online. I'm just like.
Oh, that was another Chris Jericho one. He did a mega concert during the height of COVID. During the Sturgis.
Oh yeah, that's right. In Florida. Well, I mean, yeah, yes. I mean, wrestling happened during COVID. Things happened.
Yeah,
during
but there wasn't
COVID.
people in the stands during wrestling. Like
That's true.
yeah.
I still love Chris Jericho. I'm sorry. I'm not changing my opinion.
This is my favorite Jim Cornette quote, and it's him talking about Vince Russo.
Enjoyment at this advanced age to remind everybody at every opportunity that he's a liar.
It's freaking wrestling. It means nothing.
I will live to piss on his grave. My wife already has instructions. She's out of the will. If she doesn't get me there, if I'm not ambulatory, I'll find Vince Russo's grave and I will piss on it, and there will be a picture of that hanging on my wall.
It'll be pinned to the ceiling. Like not even a frame for that piss photo. Yeah, no framing of the piss photo. Which Dark Side of the Ring was that?
I don't know.
I love how that's the exit clip too. They're like, and we're cutting
was
it
the
off.
brawl photo.
Oh, okay, I think that's the only one I haven't watched from that season.
Not
I
good.
love that. Wait, yeah, net good. I didn't know I could request that kind of stuff in my will. Like, take me to pee on someone's grave. I also want to pee
I
on
didn't
Vince
know you could
Russo's
like
grave.
legally like put it on the will.
Yeah, okay, you can do that.
Don't take me
Wow.
to this man's grave to
Great.
pee on it.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah,
You get none of the ceiling posters.
yeah. None of these crispy filling posters.
It's like net good on the historian and wanting to pee on Vince Russo's grave, net bad for everything else.
Just take
Yeah,
Twitter away from
exactly. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
his Twitter feuds are actually pretty hilarious most of the time.
Most of the time, he
Yeah.
was pretty awful towards Jordan Grace when Jordan Grace started getting really
forgot about
popular.
that, yeah.
He was like, "That's a man,"
Yeah.
and that was before she started doing steroids.
Next one, like I said, they get less controversial, so they get some more fun. Hulk Hogan. Literally, wrestling would never get as popular as it was without Hulk Hogan.
You mean
Might
that's
not-
mainstream?
Yeah.
Maybe it not.
Hulk Hogan did bring a lot of wrestling more into mainstream because you have to look at that time period where Hulk Hogan was like a pop culture icon, like
Right.
doing like movies and commercials, had Barbie dolls and
But
And
also-
Gremlins, too.
Gremlins too.
Also, that stigma of Hogan is what kept it in the 80s for
Yeah, that's true. No, because I was like talking about the people that politic their way into everything. It's like Hulk Hogan definitely was the queen of the politicker. But
Wrestlers don't have a union because of it.
yeah, oh yeah, and they kept that going because it's because if they were unionized, we wouldn't get to have wrestling during the strike, guys. Wrestling.
And then where would we be?
Yeah, well, we wouldn't. This podcast wouldn't even be happening.
They wouldn't be independent contractors, maybe. Like
Yeah.
there might be a future where Jesse got to have the union because he had a discretion. He had a big locker room meeting, and Hulk is the one that told Vince. So, I mean, there might be another universe where that is what happened because Hulk Hogan didn't exist or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's a racist and a rat.
Yes.
Yeah, I would vote Net bad just on his overall like attitude. Like the one thing that I know I really hated that he would do is whenever he was supposed to lose the match and they would pin him, he would kick out after the 3. It's like, God damn it, really, man? Let me have this.
It is
very petty. Like
Yeah.
it's all this like little petty shit that you start to notice.
So many people talk about him that they're like, I hate that dude, but I begrudgingly do respect what he did for the company. Like The Undertaker is one of them that he's like, one of my favorite moments is beating Hulk Hogan at Survivor Series. But it still comes to a point where it's like, but I really hate that dude.
I would say Net bad, just purely based on Suburban Commando.
Then I would say net good purely. I would say net good purely based on Mr. Nanny.
These are jokes. I love Suburban Commando.
What was the other? I mean, him turning heel in WCW made WCW really important for a little
And
bit.
he started just fermenting his beard. He's like, I'm edgy
I'm not
now.
the stash.
I'm not. He's like, I'm one of the. It's like that little meme that you always see on the internet. It's like I'm like one of the cool hip young guys.
How do you do,
I'm not
fellow
75.
kids?
How do you do, fellow kids? I'm not 75.
Last but not least on our list, Vince himself. Vince is done a lot of monstrous things.
Yep. He's history's greatest monster.
A lot of racist, a lot of really holding woman sexist. That was the word I was looking for. A lot of just bad screwed a lot of people over to make WWF at that point as big as it was. And screwed a lot of people. There was also sexual assault.
NDAs.
But wrestling might still be in the territory era without him.
Yeah, this one's tough because, like I will defend that. I to this day still think he is probably the greatest heel in all of wrestling. Like story wise, like he is the best villain in my opinion.
Yeah.
But with that said, it's based on reality. So he is the bad guy. So yeah, he was a bad guy on TV because he was
drawing from
a real life
experience.
bad guy.
Covered up a murder. We didn't.
I forgot
we
about
glossed
that.
over that one.
Yeah.
Wait, he covered up a murder? What?
Yeah.
Jimmy Snuka.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
Kelly?
Well, I mean, it's when you look at the head of corporations, no one's ever going to be
Right.
good.
They're not Boy Scouts.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things that like it's business, and so you kind of you do what you got to do to get yourself over. He absorbed a lot of corporations. He made himself that company is because of him. That being said, like on a personal level, he's a piece of shit. But on a professional level, like he did what he needed to do to get the company to the top. So,
Yeah, he's really one where I kind of have to draw that line and be like, net good for wrestling.
Yeah.
Net bad for the world.
yeah, wrestling as a whole, like the industry of sports entertainment wouldn't exist in the way that it does now if it weren't for him. But yeah, he's a piece of shit. So, I don't know, net neutral? Can we do net neutral?
Cancel it.
There were people saying net neutral in the chat, but it's
Yeah.
also like, because Key asked what racist things did he do. Anytime something racist happened on screen, Vince wrote it. So blackface is on that list. Asian stereotypes
Yeah.
from the 50s.
All the stereotypes are all him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anytime there's a heel that's like, we'll have him do racist things. I mean, he had Shinsuke, Jinder making fun of Shinsuke by doing like 50s, 80s racist jokes like just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a long list. But Yeah, I guess net neutral is the only thing that people can say for the most part. But on to...
Is he responsible for the name Dewdrop?
I don't know. Yes, it has to be. Yeah.
Net bad. Net bad. That name was terrible. I don't know what that even was. No.
Favorite tall tale in wrestling? Like, could be real, could not be real. It's just a story.
Me and Juan have the same answer.
Mine is there was a really famous bully in WWE or F. I'm not even sure. It's in that gray area. But Bradshaw used to bully all the new talent, and he bullied Blackman, who is an actual karate MMA person. So this is the story. No one knows if it's true, but JBL kept trying to grab his suitcase and be like, "What? Like, you're a new guy. You can't do anything." But he is an actual tough guy, and he roundhouse kicked JBL in the middle of the airport and took his suitcase.
I love this. I really hope that that's true because I love Steve Blackman. I'm like, yes. Wait, was this like Texas lawyer JBL, or was this like cool like APA JBL? I guess it's the 90s, so it had to have been APA, like,
yeah.
It could be like Ministry JBL. Super Got JBL.
But Frisco is saying it's APA. I mean, what's another favorite tall tale?
Well, me and Jay have the same one, and I think, Jay, you should say it because you do the better voice.
The Macho Man Waffle House brawl. So this was before Macho Man was Macho Man. He was still developing the gimmick, so he wasn't fully just yet. But apparently, after finishing a show, hungry, goes to Waffle House, and they can't prepare him any food because the cook's not there yet. It was running late.
It's like 24 hours there. Where is he?
Well, eventually, like an hour or so later, the cook finally arrives, and he takes his sweet ass time coming into the door because he's like, "Hey, I just got met. I'm gonna be a husband. Like, she said yes. She said yes, guys. Shake my hand." And then Macho Man's like, "I don't give a fuck. I want you to go in the back and cook me some eggs, man." And apparently this pissed off the chef. So the chef pulled a knife. And Macho Man's like, "Oh, yeah." And so he pulls a butter knife on him. And it's just Macho Man and this cook tussling until the cops show up.
Like sword fighting.
Just like dancing around.
Until the cops show up. And the cook, like, runs. I guess he had warrants or something. The cook runs, and allegedly, the canine unit was dispatched, and they released the dog on the Macho Man, and he got bit in the butt.
Kelly, what's your favorite tall tale?
I think that mine is probably CM Punk lying to a woman and telling her that there was toilet paper in the
And then we are nearing the end of our show, unfortunately. We got 5 minutes left. Wanted to end this with a nostalgia question. This was Kelly's idea, actually, when we were talking about the podcast before. As we were growing up, most of us have watched wrestling and have gravitated to certain people. So who is your favorite nostalgia crush when you were a teenager?
Oh, mine's easy. It's Stacy Keibler, because when I was 14 and I was playing Here Comes the Pain, I would make her my in-game girlfriend.
It's like The Sims. And then we kiss.
JJ?
Stacey Keibler is a really good answer. But for a long time, I had a thing for the cat. I don't know what. Maybe it's because I saw her boobs on pay-per-view. I was like, "Oh, you're my favorite now."
That's the standard.
Kelly?
I would say that my biggest crush growing up, well, okay, so there's two. And one, it's like kind of funny because I think that my first like crush that I had was on Bruiser Brody. Which is funny because if anyone's seen my partner now, they're like, "Oh, that's like the same person." So I'm like, yeah. But the other one that I definitely remember that I'm like, ooh, was when I was in 8th grade. I had a huge crush on X-Pac. And if people saw my partner now, they'd be like, "Oh, it's the same person," and I'm like, yeah. No, I had like a picture of him from like one of the magazines I had stuck into my like it was those clear binders that you could put pictures into. I had a picture of him, and my dad's like, "That guy's such a dork. He's not even like the cool guy in DX. Like, why do you have a crush on that one?" I'm like, "He's got long hair." So, yeah.
But it's straight X-Pac though, right? Like not when he was 1, 2, 3.
No, it's not when he was 1, 2, 3 kid or 6-Pac. X-Pac.
When Razor Ramon was like sunning him and putting baby powder on his bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a kind of a weird answer for this, and it's Jackie, actually. Jacqueline.
Yeah. She was a good wrestler for that time period.
I
Like,
didn't recognize her when she showed up in the AEW Royal
really?
Rumble. Yeah, she's bald now.
oh,
Yeah, but it was just that she had such a funny, sassy attitude when she was hanging out with the APA, and
Yes.
I mean, I know it was on screen, so that was before I knew Bradshaw was getting roundhoused by Steve Blackman.
and you changed your crush to black man.
But the idea that
He is a lethal weapon.
and he can dance.
Quit lying. It was Nia Jax.
No, I am too old to know, like, for Nia Jax to be a teenage crush. But that being said, I do have a lot of friends that like Nia Jax, and I'm really confused by that. But yeah, no, it was just Jackie just being able to put Bradshaw and Farouk in a corner, and I always thought that was hilarious. And she would just sit there puffing on a cigar. Other answers from the chat: we had Victoria, China, AJ Lee. I'm just a little too old to remember
Yeah.
AJ Lee.
AJ was in that time period that I like in the CM Punk era that I
Yeah.
missed, where I'm just like, oh, I don't know who that is, but they were like, oh, she's so great.
Yeah, I was in college, so yeah, I wouldn't call that nostalgia.
Well, I mean, we got 3 minutes left, as fast as you can. Who is like a current person that you're like, all right, that person's very attractive? You can go either or.
Oscar.
100% Oscar. And it's not just that she is an attractive lady. It's that, like, first of all, she's done every side quest you can in life. Of professional figure skater, video game creator, and that all bleeds into how funny and fun she is on screen.
Graphic design too is like, damn.
Yeah, no, she's done
These
everything.
are all these things that I want to do, but I have these stupid hands.
Kelly,
Currently, I would
your current partner counts as a.
Yes, I was gonna say my current partner is also a wrestler, and I have a big crush on him. So works out for me.
First time hearing of it.
Yeah. Like product placement plug. I would say if I had to say someone on mainstream wrestling, I would say, Okada is a beautiful man.
Oh, 100%.
That was also like going back to the theme songs, like his theme song, like the little
the coin
drop. I'm like, oh man, that's like the modern era version of like Stone Cold's Glass Breaking.
It is, yeah. It's on my like
as soon as you hear it, you're like,
playlist, and I'm like, oh.
yeah. If you can
start
identify someone's theme song within 3 seconds of it starting, like that's a good theme song. So yeah, he's beautiful. Who else? I think, Rhea Ripley, obviously, is a beautiful woman. Rhea and her boyfriend are both gay bait, so.
Well, guys, we are nearing the end of our stream. I just wanted to plug Danny real quick, or Dmitry Alexandrov. Here's his... That's his. Sorry, it's wrestling when you know the stage and the real name. He is a hardcore wrestler here in Austin. Wrestles all over the country. Be sure to catch his shows. And on to the person that, or on to the product that we are about to give away. Just also wanted to shout out Lift ATX, who did me such a huge favor in giving us a little prize pack that we could give to y'all for having such fun watching our shows. Lift ATX is such a fun place to work out. It's definitely a vibe. And Hector, he's the one that helped hooked everything up. He's the person in the clip. They're talking about how Lift just is expanding. It's literally getting twice the area as it used to have. And all their merchandise is amazing that we're about to give away. And then here is his dude. It's right behind this. Yeah. But yeah, it is very it's built on Hispanic, kind of like the Mexcellence in general, built on a Hispanic Mexican culture, but has broadened its horizons to be very LGBTQ friendly, very friendly to black. I've got the anagram wrong.
LBBW? What? I got a D in there.
Demisexual. It's in there now. There's also a plus sign in there too.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's the plus sign for a reason. Get its own letter.
Still gotta say it. But anyway, yeah, no, the murals on it are amazing. The equipment is amazing, and they did us a big favor in supporting us by giving some merch to give away. So yeah, go ahead and check them out if ever you're in Austin. And if you hit us up, we have a couple of day passes that we can give to you. But yeah, that's it for the show. Thank you for listening to our Mostly Elite Wrestling podcast. And we'll try to do this again at some point. But thank you for tuning in and have a great day.
I should pay for my cable bill then.
Just go on the X.
Yeah.
X on the X. Do an X on the X.
But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit the black screen for now. And you'll see us later as we do the commentary for the Royal Rumble going on.
Oh my God, I'm back. Oh my God, this thing's in the way. I've got to move this out of the way for posterity or precision. There we go. Hi, everybody. I'm back. Welcome to me. Hold on. Don't be alarmed by me switching the mic. Hi, everybody. It's time to... Oh, shit. The fuck?
Danny, you're not wrestling right now. You don't need a break.
They almost attacked me off the top rope with a light. I totally understand wrestling and all of its concepts. Bam Bam Bigelow. Anyway, we got some things to give away. So let's take a look at what we're giving away now. Let's see what the list of names that have been accrued. I feel like that's not a big enough number of list of names to be accrued. I don't know how this works. So we're going to try something interesting. Just go ahead and type in... Oh, hold on. I think I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I had the list too small. It's anybody who's in the last minute gets the prize. So I messed that up. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and have you enter the words wrestling. That's going to be RASSLIN. I'm going to put it right here. Actually, I'm going to put it over here. This is a little more easy. Hold on. Please bear with me. I want to make this fair. So give me a second. Type wrestling. Let me see here. Wrestling to win. So that's going to be RASSLIN starting. Oh, no. Wait, nope. That's not it. Okay. Cancel. Enable. Nope. Disable. All right. Wrestling. Go ahead. Type wrestling. And there's going to be an ad break right now, so I'm going to wait for everyone to come back. That way the subscribers don't have super thing. So anybody who was on the... Tommy, hold on.
I'm not even on the screen.
I know you're not, but I got to switch over there for reasons. I don't, but you're just crowding me, and I don't like it. But... but... Okay, now you're just in my parameter.
I don't know what you mean by crowding.
Oh, my God. Something top rope again. So, you're typing in wrestling. A lot of people, 15 people, have typed in wrestling so far. If you type in RASSLIN, you get entered in to win the Lift ATX pack. And then we're also giving away a Manscaped beard hedger. So we're going to give 2 winners this time around. So if you want the shorts, that's 1 pair of shorts. Here's the other pair of shorts on your thighs and or butt, depending on how you wear it. Actually, those are thighs. And then you get this cool shirt right here. I folded everything nicely. It's nice in that old school vintage faded. So, if you want to win The Lyft ATX pack right now. You got to type in wrestling. We got 17 eligible people. I think RSSLIN. Yep, people are coming and going. All right, I'm going to stop it in. Actually, I should probably just stop it now. You guys should have been listening. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. And we're going to do that. We're going to throw your names in the wheel of morality. There we are. And so there's the wheel. We're spinning it. Oh, my God. Got to get the sound effects. What's happening here? Who's going to win the shorts? It's EJ Movement. EJ Movement, you're going to win some clothing from Lyft ATX, the finest and premier gym in Austin based on Latin American, Latinx, all of that stuff, and nerdy stuff. Lyft ATX has been a proud supporter of local community, of culture, and of just vibes. They have like bachata nights and stuff. It's a really interesting place. So, EJ Movement, I'm going to give you a screenshot right there, and you win the shorts. Now, here's the thing. I also had to give away one more little prize, and that's the Manscaped Beard Hedger. What happened? Wait. Why are we missing one? Who stole the Beard Hedger? Is it behind the laptop? Why would it be behind the laptop? Because I put it there?
Put everything in.
I come prepared. More prepared than anybody in this room. Anyway, as it's upside down. I'm not drunk anymore. You want to win this? Let's go ahead and put a new word in. And that word is going to be, let's go ahead and clear everybody out. Manscaped. That's MANSCAPED. Type in Manscaped. You have a minute. Type Manscaped. Actually, lowercase. Manscaped. Nope, just D. Yep, there it is. To win. You got a minute. I'm going to refresh real quick. Keyword. Hold on. Manscaped. There we go. Boom. We got 3 people right now that are eligible to win. We got 4 people. So you got a minute. We're
If I just shout Manscaped.
You can't have it, JJ. You already got one.
Paco doesn't have one.
Paco doesn't have a beard worthy of one.
What?
That's right. That's right. Jordan said we got Taco Meat. Jordan will be featured on this podcast coming up soon. So this is for the lightning round. You guys have to be watching and you have to be at your keyboard to win the fine prizes. And we do appreciate your support. We have a lot of people. We have 50 people here coming in strong. We got a lot of people in, but I'm going to go ahead and let the clock tick one more minute. We still got time to start the next show. The next show starts at 1:45, and that's the All Blaxcellence podcast. He said racist. Go black people, TJ says. And I say that too, just because I don't want to get ostracized. All right, we're picking somebody for the Beard Hedger because I like when people respond quickly. So this is actually a pretty small batch of people who are going to have the opportunity to win. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at Big Bomb, bro. Ha! Cthulhu is my dad. Darth the Rabbit, Frisco Flame, Rockeen, Rico Hero, Roger Bear, Sam, Fox a Lost Shadow, Shogun Telling Tree, True Sinister, and XTC John. Who's gonna win it? Wheel of Morality. It's not the right thing. I don't know. Frisco lost it. Rakeen is about to lose it. And Rico Hero 647 has won the Manscaped Beard Hedger. And be sure, if you're on Manscaped, and you like Manscaped, you want more of the things, go to manscaped.com. Use coupon code MEX20 for 20% off and free shipping. That's manscaped.com. Use coupon code MEX20, MEX20 for 20% off and free shipping. It helps the Mexcellence. It helps you. And Rico Hero, you are now a hero to all of those who wish to have a wonderful beard. So, congratulations to you. We still got 2 more to give away. So, sit tight, stay attached to the keyboard, and keep watching because in a few short minutes, we're going to have the Blaxcellence podcast, the All Blaxcellence podcast. It's going to be a laugh riot. TJ's got a great show for you. Stick around, invite your friends. I saw some people taking naps, not coming back around. Tell your friends, come back around. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you so much for supporting. You'll see me in a little bit, but right now, support the guys that are gone. I love you all. I'm going to go get some pizza. Bye.